Hey guys, Christian the Haver Card Man here, back at you with some more content today. I'm finally returning to the game, and no, I did not cut my hair. It's just all back right now because I just got done taking a shower, so my hair is kind of wet, and it's actually nice and staying in place. So I'm so sorry that I've been gone for so long, guys. I've just had so much stuff going on, so many situations that have kind of been like awkward to work around, and just a whole bunch of life things that I've been trying to manage. I'm sorry for the messy background. I promise I'm working on it. I was really excited to get back to making content. I'm not going to ramble on for too much about this because I'm going to be making a separate update video for those of you that actually care about, what's going on with the channel and why I've been gone for so long. And as you guys can tell by the title today, I'm actually going to start making new content. I'm going to be starting with my Market Watch series today. This is something I've kind of been wanting to do for a while. I've kind of had the itch for it. And I think Team Sakurasu is actually really kind of like a big reason I wanted to start doing this. I did a Market Watch with him once over Prank Kids during Prank Week on the Coalition of Scrubs. And I've watched like a lot of his market watches since. The only reason I never felt really competent enough to diversify this far into my content realm is because I didn't feel like I had the proper knowledge. I didn't really feel like I had the right to speak on this sort of topic because I didn't think I'd be able to provide the right value for you guys. But now that I've been a vendor for quite a while and I'm actually making a decent amount of money off of this, I'm going to start doing this series to maybe help you guys out, maybe point some cards out to you that might be good investments, and overall just have a good time and show you guys kind of around the market of Yu-Gi-Oh! I know there's a whole lot of mainstream hype and stuff like that, all the new sets coming out, all these new cards, seeing how they're performing, stuff that like House of Champs or MCOL 40 do and cover. I kind of want to stay away from that stuff as much as I can and maybe go for like more of the underbelly or try to get you guys some cards to look at before they actually like go up in price to have maybe some investments, or just kind of show you a little bit more of the underbelly of the market, more of like the kind of raw or like stuff that you don't normally see on market watches. I want to show you towards more of that stuff. So we'll see what we can get here. Today though, I'm just going to be going over 2020's greatest hits with all of the different sets. And we're just going to be covering a lot of that stuff, and I might even be going over like some really awesome penny stonks and just cool stuff to go over from the sets of last year. But if you guys have anything, like any cards that you want to see down below specifically, or any sets or anything that you'd like me to go over, go ahead and let me know, and I'll cover them to the best of my ability. Like I said, I'm feeling a lot more confident now around the market, and like I said, I've actually been doing a pretty good job navigating my way around this and figuring it all out. So hopefully I can share some of that knowledge to you and maybe help you guys out a little bit. And if you guys do like this Market Watch series, go and let me know down in the comments. I actually am I'm considering about doing this as like a weekly thing. So if you guys like it, be sure to like the video and let me know down in the comments so I can be sure that you like it. So I'm going to apologize right now for this awkward camera angle. It's just the only place my camera would really fit to be able to do this, but because my computer is over this way. So we're going to start off here. I'm going to jump right into the Market Watch today. We're going to be starting on Legendary Duelist Magical Hero, because this was actually the first set of 2020. Honestly, my 2020 is just so like far gone now. It feels like it's been forever, and I honestly forgot this set came out at the beginning of 2020. So I just have things going market price from high to low right now, just so we can kind of sort through some stuff. The boxes actually for the Unlimiteds are almost $200 right now, a solid at $184. So if for whatever reason you're holding on to some of these, I mean, like the first ads are $350. Honestly, you guys made some money if you held on to this. Like, look at this market price, $163.65 for the first editions, and the market price for the Unlimited is $186. That's actually kind of funny. But yeah, it looks like the first edition boxes actually got bought out to the $350, $400 mark. So I hope you guys had your chance to get into that set. Hey, look, it's my man Sakurasu. I might actually almost have to hit him up about that. That's pretty cool, actually. I really like that. So we'll kind of peek through some of the stuff here. Obviously, this will be mixing in some unlimited prices, but seeing that Magician Soul's actually down on market price right now by about $6. So yeah, we're looking at Lightly Playeds for $99 here, shipping included. So you got people trying to sell Japanese copies. Got a German one down here. Yeah, honestly, I am waiting for the Megaton reprints on this one. I know it's not used in a whole lot of decks nowadays, but they're so hard to come across. Like there is 43 listings magically. But who's gonna pay $100, like $300 actually, for a play set on a card that's not really being played all that much anymore? I mean, I see people trying to go up to 106. I don't know if that's really realistically gonna sell. Then you get that kind of gap here that just goes straight to 110 and then 115. People are really hoping this card's gonna spike, but pretty soon it's gonna die. It's not gonna have this price point anymore. Even if it somehow still does, as long as there's a reprint, just go for the reprinted version because it's going to be so much less expensive. Even the Dark Magicians, the Fusion Monster, is sitting at a crisp $73 right now, which, honestly, for Dark Magician support is a bit much. Considering that, I mean, yes, this is probably, like, one of the best cards they have. Probably, I'd have to argue, like, their best Fusion Monster, just for the potential that it has, but it's not $73 worth. Honestly, I'm sorry if you're playing Dark Magician decks, because these are so expensive. Like, this is not worth it. Once again, waiting on a fat reprint for that one. Liquid Soldiers, honestly, hero players, if you got these, I sold my copy personally. I bought it. I think I got lucky and I was able to find a copy for like 15, and I was able to go ahead and resell mine at the $45 mark. So, like I said, if you guys have any copies for whatever reason, get rid of them, because you're gonna be hitting hard on reprint season. I mean, heroes. That's got to be reprint. If that doesn't see a reprint, I'm actually going to be thoroughly surprised on that one. Soul Servants is $27. Yikes. Once again, Dark Magician players, I'm sorry. Apprentice Illusion Magician for $863 on the market price, as low as $925 with 52 listings. For a super rare, I don't know, honestly. Okay, so you have your unlimiteds. Those are like the $8, $9 mark. Even the first eds are only about $10. Once again, though, for a super rare, that is a pretty high price point, and I don't think we're going to really see this going up. I mean, like, maybe there's a chance if Magician Souls comes back into the format with its reprint, and for whatever reason, Apprentice Illusion Magician doesn't get reprinted, but that's an iffy one. I couldn't stick with. Honestly, all of Legendary Duelist Magical Hero is going to be, like, is going to be pretty bad. But let's maybe take a peek at, like, what could be some of the penny stonks here. What might actually be worthwhile to consider. Honestly, I didn't look at this set too much because it never really intrigued me. But, I mean, there really isn't all that much here. And when you're looking at value in terms of the set, you get your few chase cards, and then you get everything else just kind of dying out. Like, at best here, maybe I could see tuning going up, like, a little bit. But let's look at how many printings tuning has. Because I know this thing, it has its own fair share of preprints. Okay, so this actually is really not helpful, but so we got the Magical Hero copy up here. We do have a maximum gold rare, actually as low as 3 cents. So, like, honestly, maybe some of these, but I wouldn't stake too much into these because they're just not all that great. Like, tuning ultimate rares, they've already had their buyout. They might get another buyout again potentially, but I don't really see them going much higher. Like, for the ultimate rares specifically, you're looking at Light Blades are down to 81. Yes, I do have a copy here for 91, but I don't think I'm gonna sell it at that, to be honest. You are already starting to see it go back down. A lot of lightly played. So let's see if there's any near mints. So we do have near mints over the $100 mark on all of them. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's really gonna go up enough to be, like, worth investing in. If you guys are looking to play it and you really want the ultimate rare, I guess. But at that point, go for the lightly played. It's so much safer. Or at least a lot cheaper. So let's go ahead and find our way back here. The only reason I could speculate on tuning maybe getting a little bit better is because of Dawn of Majesty, and it's looking to be like one of the biggest sets of 2021. And it is a full tuner set, and I believe Stardust Synchron is one of the cards, which means you can search Stardust Synchron for a full combo with tuning, and then also be able to get a mill off of it, which is, like, always good. Oops, I got lost for a second. So I think that's about all I got for Magical Duelist. Magical Hero. Let's go ahead and move on here to Ignition Assault. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had to take care of something really quick. But anyways, I'll do Ignition Assault once again. Like I said, this is, like, the first set I remember coming out of 2020. I don't know how I just completely spaced Magical Hero, but looking at this set has kind of gone crazy. Looking here, we got the Ignition Assault booster boxes, 5 listings at lowest at 150, and I have to assume these are unlimiteds. It doesn't really show it. I mean, these might be the first ads actually, but yeah, your lowest you're looking here is 150 with $15 shipping. There is 4 boxes, but you're looking at a pretty new seller. Only 9 sales so far. They do have the 100% rating, which is nice. But 9 sales doesn't really paint a whole lot of a picture there. So the next you're getting Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Market at 175 with 12 boxes. And then after that you're hitting the 220 marks. So Yeah, these things, honestly, not all that great of a set, but it had plenty of chase cards that it was, like, just able to work. Let's go ahead and swap that back to high to low. So you are seeing the Lightning Storm Starlight here hitting the $400 mark with a market price of $561. So it actually kind of did calm down a little bit. Looks like we got some more listings. We're up to 34 now, of course, including these annoying, obnoxious, foreign copies that aren't really all that relevant to the TCG, but they are still there, unfortunately. Okay, so I can see what happened here. So mod plays are at 405. We have one copy here. And then you go straight to near mints at the $480, $500 mark. Still did calm down about $50 from what the actual market price is. You can see here that that 13 days ago was the last purchase, almost 2 weeks now. For $565, somebody did buy this. But you are already seeing it going down to that 480 mark. Honestly, or 490, I guess, because, the verified sellers. But actually not as bad as it was. It has cooled down a solid, $60, $70. So I can't say that's too bad at all. Really good to see that kind of chilling out a little bit. Rose Starlights. These, actually, I don't remember seeing them this high, but it looks like they've calmed down a little bit. We're starting to see them down to 370 from 402. Only 15 listings, though, so that might kind of creep up a little bit over time. In fact, that might actually just be for, another mod play or something. So, no, near mints, 372, so I guess that is actually legit. Looks like Roses did go down a little bit, not a whole lot, but it's something. Asa's chilling around the $300 mark, not too bad. Perpetua's not really doing a whole lot of anything for Starlight Rare, but hey, if you pull it out of a random box or a random pack like that, that's still money, so I can't really hate on that too much. Normal Lightning Storms actually makes me really happy to see this. They're down to $82 now. I remember when I sold the one copy that I pulled out of a box, I sold it at $120 when the average copies were up at $140. I just wanted to make some money on it, so I undercut by a little bit and it sold pretty quick, but yeah, near mints down to 82 for a few listings here, and then you do go back up to the $90 mark. But once again, still better than that 110 plus price tag. Obviously, awaiting a reprint on that will drive that price down quite a bit too. Gnister Island actually still kind of edging up a little bit. I think I just sold mine a little bit ago at about the $25 mark, and now they're up to $27, almost $28. So that's looking pretty good. Achichi's actually starting to cruise up a little bit. These were $9 last time I checked, up to $12 now with a market price of $14. Oh no, sorry, Achichi I sold at 16. I was thinking of my good boy Picari down here, which does look like it went up a little bit, but not substantially. It's only a buck or two higher than what it was before. Overall, nothing looking too crazy with the set. So you get down into the sub $10 stuff here with some of your Plunder Patrol stuff, which we might actually see some more Plunder Patrol players here coming up, since we did just get Plunder Patrol support, and we just kind of need some of the other hype to die down. Maybe Plunder Patrols will get a little bit more love. Honestly, I love this deck, and I think it does need more attention, but even the secret rare ships down here at $2. Talk about penny. I mean, if you guys pick up one or two of these maybe and just consider just to hold on to. If nothing else, you're only at a couple bucks and they're really cool cards. If you don't end up selling them, I'd love to have these for my collection. I think I might still have a couple actually in my binder. So yeah, nothing too crazy with Ignition Assault. Let's go on to Secret Slayers. So Eldritch definitely not at the crazy 140 price mark that he was before, but still $50 even with that maximum gold reprint. Honestly, if you want to play Eldritch, I'd consider just going with the maximum gold variant. Now, the Cursed Eldlands, though, did start to calm down. We're not seeing as many people playing Eldritch as before. They are now back down at the $15 mark. Still quite a bit for a super rare, but at the same time, out of a deck building set, I guess I can't really be all that surprised, especially with how high the demand for Eldritch was. And there's only 46 listings on the board right now, so that is it's an iffy one. Researchers, though, down to about $30. I think they've kind of been stagnating here for a while. I managed to sell mine at about $45, before they went down. And I think it was before they really got hit on the ban list a while ago. But yeah, they've been kind of stagnant at 30 for a little while. You get little bumps here and there, but nothing too crazy. Nothing too really spectacular with the rest of this set by the looks of it. I did notice Dragites for a little bit. It's changed now, but they did get up to the $4 mark, I think, for a second. I know I at least sold a couple copies at that price. I did have to readjust and lower them. Also, quick disclosure, I know this is a little bit late into the video, but you guys, if I do end up investing in any of these cards, or I have any of these cards in my inventory, I will give you full disclosure on whether or not I have invested or plan to invest in these cards. If they're cards that I'm looking at investing in, I won't purchase them until after I make a market watch about them and like actually release the video and give it some time, just so I give you guys a chance too. I don't want to like make anyone think that I'm trying to show them these cards to come buy my inventory and make me money. I don't want anyone to think that at all. I'm here to help you guys out. So I'm going to give you guys all the chance after I do my market watches before I consider even looking at buying any of the cards that I put on there. So just looking through here, I've noticed Trap Trick's actually been doing really good lately with the whole new Trap Trick support and the whole love for trap cards lately in general. Trap Trick has actually been a really good petty stonk. I was selling my commons that I got out of like my 18 boxes or whatever of the Machina structure deck. But honestly, a super rare doesn't sound too bad. Let me see what other printings there are of these, because I can't remember what other foilings there are. If it's all just... okay, so you do have a secret rare out of Soul Fusion that's 18 bucks right now with a market price of 22. I don't know. I mean, an ultra rare out of the 2019 Megatins, though, that might almost be a penny stonk. But these prices might almost be at just like where they're going to sit for right now, because the trap hype has already kind of come through and it's been hitting us for the last couple of months. So you might see a small increase on these, but nothing really noticeable. And like once you deal with fees and stuff, you're not really going to be making any money. So maybe hold off on the trap tricks. Something to consider though. Keep an eye on these because I have noticed them selling like hotcakes. Even just the common versions, I was selling for almost $1, I think, and I managed to sell all of my copies. And it only took like a couple of days, and they were just gone. So yeah, just really curious about that. So go back to Secret Slayers here. I don't think there's really anything left to cover. It's all kind of just like there might be a couple of penny stonks in here, but nothing like too notable. I thought this was hilarious though. Adamantipator Analyzer down to 48 cents with 106 listings. That's kind of sad. So all right, let's go ahead and scooch on to Eternity Code here. This is probably like the biggest set, well, other than Rise of the Duelist. I really love this set, and I think it is just absolutely insane. With just how many levels of skyrocketing it's going through. So Effect Veilers at the 450 mark from a market price of 444. Let's take a peek at that here. We got 20 listings on the Starlight. So you are seeing a couple of people here with multiples though, which is actually really impressive to have it be holding at about the $500 mark, like pretty close. And I don't know, I'm surprised there's not more competition to undercut, although you can see here that people were trying to go over 500 for a little bit, and I think, you know, obviously people try to reach like this $600 and all these ridiculous prices, expecting to get that just because they have first editions from Eternity Code. And this set was just crazy. Like, this set rose to the moon. So whether or not I don't know if I really see all these selling that much. Let's see what the last one is. So there were people buying at the 450 mark. So these copies might actually move here pretty soon. And then you're getting stuck with a $470, $500 price tag on these. Personally, I couldn't justify it, especially for Effect Veiler. It's okay in the format right now, but it just doesn't accomplish as much as it really needs to. So I am very iffy about this card. I did debate it at one point in time, though. If you managed to get it like closer to release of Eternity Code, good on you. I'm pretty sure you made some solid money. So of course, Area's just doing their thing. They're up at the 420 mark right now for market price 410. They're slowly going up. I've been kind of watching on their market watches and seeing these just slowly moving, going up towards that 500. Actually, not very long before they're at the $500 mark. You got two copies here, one at 420 with no sales. That's kind of sad. And then a 450 mark here on a verified seller, and then you're right at the $500 mark. So good luck on these. If you guys want to go in on them, I'll pray for you, but there's not much hope. Then, of course, Chamber Dragon Maid Starlight Rare. I did actually buy into this. I got one, I think, at like $250, I want to say. And I'm kind of mad at myself because I ended up selling it at like $419. I didn't end up making a whole lot of profit on it because it wasn't moving. And I didn't think Chambers Dragon Maids were really going to get that much more movement. But here we are now at a fat $570 for the minimum on this card. You got 3 total copies of that all day. And then you're at $700. That is a $130 jump there almost. Like, there is no hesitation there. And then you get these crazy people listing here at 1100, 1500. I don't see it ever like getting to that point and selling. Like maybe I could see these two copies, but I think that's about where it's going to stop. People are not really going to want to pay this $700 price tag on these little guys. And I understand the waifu tax. I understand the Dragon Link potential. I understand the Dragon Maid potential. This is a Starlight that's just not worth that much. I cannot wrap my head around that. Now, however, Ghost Mortar and Moonlit Chill, if you guys somehow have the money and you can hop in and get a playset of this, I know it's not reasonable for a lot of people because that's $750 on the minimum. In fact, right here, there's one seller here verified with 3 copies for $257. So you're spending over $750. But I really do see this card having potential. It is an effect veiler on steroids. Like, okay, so you can only use it once per turn, that's fair. But if you guys don't know, basically if your opponent special summons a monster face up, you can discard this card to target one of those face up monsters and negate its effects until the end of the turn. So there's your effect veiler effect. And also, if that face up monster leaves the field this turn, i.e. if it's removed by card effect, by battle, if they link it off, if they use it as material for like a fusion or synchro summon, if it just leaves the field to the graveyard for any reason, or if it just leaves the field, it can be banished, it can be returned back to a hand. As long as it leaves, the controller takes damage equal to its original attack. So basically, like if you encounter somebody that's trying to use, like say they use the needle fiber, right, and you use this to negate its effect, and like it'll negate its effects for the rest of the turn, and then they link off the needle fiber into something else, then they will take whatever his original attack points is. I want to say it's 1200, but don't quote me on that. They'll take his original attack points as damage, which can help then in situations for time, which is going to be a lot more relevant for locals and for actual events where time matters, as opposed to online simulators. So I think this card is really just waiting for its format. Once it gets its format, I can easily see this card going up in price, especially being a Starlight Rare out of Eternity Code. And yes, I do have 3 copies of this, I won't lie. I think I have them listed at $420 right now. $420 because funny. But as you can see, I'm not the only one here. There are people kind of listing up closer to my price. They're not quite as ambitious. I am planning to play the long game with this because, once again, I think it just needs to see its format. It'll get some love. Honestly, I think once Effect Veiler has its chance at a format, this will become more recognized and people will actually start playing this more. Which reminds me, if you guys want to, let's go ahead and check out just the normal Secret Rare version of it, because I know that is still running a solid few bucks here. So we'll peek at a couple other things first. So access code hitting a crazy high right now, 118. I still remember seeing these guys at 60s, and I think that's actually what I sold mine at when I pulled it out of the box. That's just ridiculous. I almost wish I held on to it, but I wanted the money at the time, and that's just where I was hanging. So Trap Tricks Alamera's Starlight Rares, I'm actually surprised these went down under the $300 mark again. I really thought I was going to keep seeing them go up because Trap Tricks, just got their support. Alameris is like a 2 of at best in the deck, but it's still a really good card to have, a good extender, and just overall good card for Trap Tricks. So I'm kind of surprised this didn't see a lot more hype. You do have to see some people down here. You got, so I am listed up here. I forgot I actually reduced my price on this because I was at like the $350 mark, and I might go back up there just because now I'm looking at this and it doesn't take long before it gets back up that high. So I'll adjust my price back up here. But then you have one copy at $290, and then you're going up to the $330 and almost $400 mark. So I don't know on this one, guys. This really could swing either way. I'm not 100% sure on this. So keep an eye on it. If it starts to move, I don't know what to tell you. So we do have Animador Art Store here at 70. This has got to be coming up for a reprint. Like, I can't imagine it not. Or maybe some people speculate it gets hit on the ban list. I don't see that happening. This card is, I don't know. It's not that busted. It's not Misk. It's just not Misk. But it is a good card. You do see it here. You have 0% rating, 5 sale motivated seller at 70, and then you're going up to $75 again. So not a cheap card here. If you wanted it, you should have picked it up at like 30s when the set first came out. So yeah, Archosaurus getting crazy. So in the normal chambers, we're back down to 55. I think this actually hit 100 at one point, which was just ridiculous. Gearsus, this one has me surprised. Only $31 for Gearsus. There are only 35 listings, but there's probably several listings with multiple copies. Yeah, no, you're seeing a bunch of multiples right off the bat here. But $31 for that boy is actually surprisingly not bad, especially with all the scrap stuff that just came out. We just got Scrap Raptor and all this other stuff. I guess we are still waiting on a Scrap Chimera reprint and Scrapyard, but you can also just play Fossil Dig to search Scrap Raptor. He is a dinosaur monster that can get you into that'll get you really consistently into all of your Orcus plays. Gearsu becomes a great extender, also a really good play starter, being able to dump a card to the graveyard and get a token to be able to go straight into a Galatea or whatever else you need to get into. Gearsu is just insane all around, so I'm surprised to really only see him down at the $31 mark. I believe when I bought him, he was like $28, so it wasn't like a big increase, but I feel like he should be a lot higher than this. That's just my personal speculation, though. So as promised here, Ghost Mourners and Moonlit Chills are only sitting at $19. I remember this set first release, these were $40, and you were paying that price. But we got Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily here coming in with the clutch. We got 16 full copies of Near Mint First Edition Ghost Mourners for $19.05. Not at all a bad price point. Once again, this is one of those I can see easily going up. It's another Ghost Girl. It's another good hand trap. It helps play for time. Overall, I just see this being like stonks. Like, once again, once this card sees its format, it's going to go crazy. There are currently 63 listings, so there's a bit of a wall. So if you do go in for this, you are most likely going to be waiting for a while. But honestly, I think this one might be worth it. Just something to consider. It very well could easily be reprinted in the Megatins. You just never know. So be kind of weary about it. Purchase at your own discretion. But these are just kind of things I want to point out to you guys. So Machina Metal Cruncher is actually down a bit. We're down to the $10. I was seeing these get up to, I think I saw them get up to 13 at one point. Now they're chilling. So you are still seeing quite a few about the $11, $12 mark. But there is a couple of people, let's go back to the first page here. There are a couple of people trying to sell these at sub $10, and then it very quickly goes back up to over 10, which is fine. If you want to play Earth Machines, like, you can either buy this now or wait and see if the Megatins come out with the reprint. Once again, pure speculation. I don't know if I'll see this one in there, but it is a very good possibility, and also a very good card. So if you guys want it, now is the time. Otherwise, wait for a reprint and hope for the best. Otherwise, out of Eternity Code, the set is not all that bad. I mean, most of these cards, yeah, they're probably a little bit more high priced than they should be, but it's Eternity Code. What are you going to expect? Anything running first edition from a set like this that had such a limited run, yeah, you're gonna be clutching stuff there. Oh, that does remind me. I wanted to look at the Arch Nemesis stuff because Protoss is still sitting sub $1, but I believe if we saw Eschatos, here he is. He actually hit the $3 mark, which I found impressive, and he's at 100 listings. So to see him that high is pretty impressive. I really find it kind of sad that people underestimate Protoss. I get his conditions are way different. Instead of, being able to banish 3 different types from your graveyard, which is much easier to achieve because there's so many different types. This one banishes attributes, and then you can declare 1 attribute on the field, which it basically has the same effect as a Shatos, but it relies on attributes and not types, which does kind of make a difference. But with Drytrons, the Drytrons are playing several different types. Arch Nemesis Protoss, though, however, will take out an entire attribute. So, sure, it may not stop anything like Prankids, but then again, neither will a Shatos. Or even, for example, actually, no, now that I think about it, I guess a Shatos would be more effective against something like Tri-Brigade. But really, honestly, Protoss and the Shatos, I'd have to put it about equal, but the demand is not quite there. The demand is not equal, which I think is surprising. So you are seeing these up a little bit. They're up to like $1.20 right now. I think these need to be higher. I think these should at least be $2.50 right now. You do kind of see it start to move up a little bit here to the $1.50, almost $2 mark with shipping. Yeah, it does get up there a little bit, but I still don't think it's quite where it needs to be. So maybe consider picking up a few copies of Protoss before that really goes up. But once again, it's not going to go up too much. You're not going to be making too much profit there, but something is better than nothing. So that's something to consider. Oh, and I also wanted to talk about Parallel Exceed really quick. So I know it does have a super rare printing out of a reprint, but you're still looking at 54 cents on a common, 55 cents. This really is not that bad. If you guys have Eternity Code bulk and you haven't already, go through it, find your Parallel Exceeds, get them listed up on TCG Player, get that money. Because once you're considering like doing, look at this guy. So you got 63 cents here on your your copies of Parallel Exceed, right? 15 copies, and you have 78 shipping on them, free shipping over $5, of course. So for someone to buy $5 of Parallel Exceeds, I would be kind of impressed. So I'm going to pull up a calculator here. You guys won't be able to see it, but I just want to do some quick math here. So if we're looking at 15 copies, right, at 63 cents a piece. Okay, so that's $9.45 right there alone. But once you factor in shipping, let's assume that everyone bought playsets of 3, right? So that's 5 different orders. So we got to add to that parentheses 5 times 0.78 because that's what we got here. So you add that in. I know it's not going to seem like a whole lot, but once you add that in, that is a total of $14, $13.35 out of just bulk cards, and that's only 15 copies. If you opened up a ton of Eternity Code bulk, that does start to add up, and these little penny stonks are actually kind of nice. Just something to consider if you have the extra copies lying around. I wouldn't go around crazy and trying to invest in this, hoping to make a profit off of it. But if you got the spare copies and you can sell them off, by all means, go for it. It's really nice to have those little penny stonks. Toon Chaos now. We'll keep moving on here because I am already half an hour into this. I'm going to cut out a few bits, but yeah, Toon Chaos has always been kind of a cluster. So you got the Gammas, Collector Rares, 165, not surprising. I'm assuming that's for Unlims though. If we go look at the first eds here, yeah, no, even near mint Unlimiteds are 180, so yeah, I got a couple of lower listers there, but that's about it. If you go look for first eds here, the lowest you're looking at is 260. That is quite sad. Understandable, but quite sad that they've gone that high. So, really, this set is just looking like hot dumpster fire. All the collector's rares really high up right now. The only one I could speculate on, like maybe having a chance at going up even higher, I guess the 3 here, are your Chaos Creator, Chaos Valkyria, and Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. Mostly just because if Chaos becomes really relevant again, like, you know, say Rocket Dragonlink goes back to a more Chaos build, Chaos Creator does work pretty well, Chaos Valkyria works pretty well, and then, of course, if for whatever reason Infernobles come back and like they get some really good support or something like that, Immortal Phoenix Gearfried might go up too. Those are about the only ones I can speculate on. Maybe over time, Toon Bookmark or just like general Toon support, because people really do love Toons for whatever reason. It's not at all a viable deck, but you could, if you wanted to go for the long hold on these, maybe you can see them go up. But if you look here, Toon Harpy Lady's already had a buyout. Its market price was $38. Now it's sitting at $75 on Unlimiteds. You got to look at first eds, you're going to be paying a pretty penny. So I would personally just not worry about picking any of these up unless you really need to play them. But even then, I wouldn't go for the collector's rare version. I just get like the normal version, like especially for something like Chaos Creator. Avoid that $65 price tag and come down here and just get it for a good $22.75. A third of the price. You can literally get a full playset of the ultra rare for a single copy of the collector rare. And that's probably just for unlimited. Like, let's look here. So if we look at this boy, so you got, yeah, Unlimiteds. Near mints even are still only $22. So that's not bad. But if you look at the collector's rares on him, that might be an entirely different story. So you got the Unlimiteds here. They even get up to $90, $125 on Unlimiteds. And then you don't see a first ed until $125. And that's on a non-verified seller with literally no sales. The first verified seller you see is $150 on the first ed. So you'd be way better off just getting the ultra rares, playing with them, having your fun with them. Don't even worry about the collector's rares. All right, we're just gonna scooch on from that because we're killing it on time. We've been going way too long. That's okay. Astral Utopia, actually kind of surprised. We're going back up to $500. As you can see here, it did rest at about $413 for a little bit. I love this card. I did get it. I did pull it out of the box. And I was very sad that I had to let it go, but obviously I needed to make some money back, so I did have to get rid of my Astral Utopia. I regret it every day, but at the same time, I needed the money. So, beautiful card. Beautiful, beautiful card. 10,000 Dragon. I have never seen one of these in person, but I understand that Japan, or the OCG, came over and bought us out a little bit of these. And now we're looking at 50. That's for a German. So we're looking at 1,800 on these fat boys. God, I remember seeing a couple of copies that were $900 and thinking that's too much for me. And now you get this. You get this mess. You got one guy listed here for $6,500. Oh man. Oh, it is a PSA 9. So that is pretty impressive. But I'm not gonna pay that. I guess if you're really looking to grade it, like I don't know if it's gonna go down. I have to hope, I have to imagine that it might eventually if more are ever found, but at this point I can't hold out too much hope, especially with a case that is this expensive. We have one listing left of the first edition booster box case. It has $3,700. That's twice the price of a 10,000 dragons. You'd have to pull two of those just to make back your money. This set is so... Oh my god. You look at everything else, it's such a big gap between all your value, right? We were on high to low. You go from Invocation and Chaos Emperor at like your $36, $40 mark, straight down to 15. Like there's just no in between. It's just a straight gap. Oh, everything tanked so much in value. I remember some of this stuff being way more money than it is now. So sad seeing this. Oh, okay. Moving on. I can't look at that one. I went hard on Armageddon, and while I didn't like neg on it or anything, I didn't ultra plus either. And it makes me sad to see it how it is nowadays. So speaking of insane booster box case prices, we got 3,100 out of 3 on 3 listings for this here. That goes up to 32, 33. Wow, that is insane. All right, but yeah, looking at this here, Ecclesia's doing its thing, up to $800 on the Starlight Rare. Can't really say I'm surprised, but can't say I'm happy about it either. Yikes, that is purely just insane. I was just looking at this, and it was just $500 a couple weeks ago. I don't know what you guys did, but it actually $200 higher on this. Wow, that's insane. That is just absolutely bonkers. I honestly wish I picked mine up sooner, but at the same time, I don't know if it's going to sell at $800. I honestly don't know if it will. So Triple Tactics Talents, not really moving a whole lot. They did go up a little bit, but they're dwindling a little bit on listings, though. I mean, if there's multiple quantities, maybe, but I don't. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of copies here, folks. We are running out of Triple Tactics Talents, and it is going up fast. So we're at 475 right now. You're going up to 45, 500 on near mints. Yeah, they're not going to be holding on to those too much longer. I don't see those staying for all that long. Let's look here. So Nadir's still 67. Ice Dragon's Prisons down to 50. Okay, down from 60. That's good. Droplets down to 85 now that it's got a reprint behind it. Another one upcoming. Chaos Ruler actually down to $21. I didn't think I was going to see this one go down. I thought it was going to stay up a little bit. It kind of chilled at 28 for a little while, and now it's back down to 21. That's a little bit sad, but understandable at the same time. We're even starting to see should all schisms cool off a little bit, down to $20. I know this hit at least 30, but I think it got up to 40 for a little bit there. This card was getting scarce for a little while, and now we got 63 listings, and we're all the way down to $20. So yeah, people are getting ready for that reprint season hardcore. Ecclesia, wow. Okay, so these are just sitting at the $19 mark. I got rid of mine at like 15 when it went way down in price, and now it's creeping back up slowly, but it's still got 69 listings, so it's gonna be chilling there for a little bit. It looks like nothing too crazy. I mean, obviously that one's got to be getting pretty close for a reprint too, and it's just an ultra rare anyways, so obviously a lot more common than a secret rare. Speaking of secret rare, it's actually outdoing the Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. Not all that surprising because it wasn't as highly sought after. It did go up in price for a little bit, but it's kind of chilling back down now that people are realizing that it's not all that great. Yeah, I mean, everything else kind of about normal with this set. It doesn't really look like anything really spiked up too much or went too crazy. Looks like we're kind of just sitting about where we need to be with that. So that's good to see that kind of stagnating a little bit here. So 2020 Megatins, we are seeing the Dragoon climbing back down. Banless season, people are expecting this to get banned. I personally am not. But if you guys really are, I would look into that Neos package right now, because if we keep Verte, if Dragoon goes away and we still keep Verte Anaconda, people are probably going to go back to the Neos package with Neos Fusion, Rainbow Dragon, and Rainbow Neos, and all that stuff. It was a good package. Obviously, it does not anywhere near match Dragoon, but it's still a powerful package nonetheless. So, not all that bad there. Of course, you are seeing the Megatin cases going up, actually substantially from that market price of fat $126 later. The tins themselves are up to $41 now, man. Wow, I'm so glad I bought my case of this, like, early on. I didn't pull a whole lot, like, exciting from it, but just to know that it's that crazy, I can't imagine paying that price for a single tin. Extras, you are seeing at the $33 mark as a Prismatic Secret Rare. Honestly, I personally love the Prismatic Secret Rare. I think it looks better than just like a normal Secret Rare or an Ultra Rare. I love the look of it so much. I really think it's worth it. Oh, these were down at 25s for a while, so it's cool to see these actually climb it up a little bit. I think people are realizing Prosperity isn't just necessary for a lot of decks, especially control decks. They really just want the extra advantage in their hand. Prosperity is really good for combo decks that need to search out specific pieces to make sure they have consistency. But when it comes to control decks, they just don't need that as much because it's all about just keeping your opponent's resources in check, not really building a board. So it makes sense that this is still climbing up and doing good. Masquerena, people are getting hyped for that alternate art, and other people are going, hey, there's the normal art here, maybe this will go down a little bit. I don't know. But looks like it's kind of going up because I remember this was a little bit lower at the tin's first release. Now it's kind of getting a bit more demand, and it's selling a bit higher now. Whereas you look at Borreload Savage Dragon, about double the listings, and only $13. This guy was hitting 18 for a minute, and I'm glad I sold my copies then. But I'm not surprised to see it go down, actually, considering, I mean, even though it is a secret rare in the set, it is still really good to see it go down and be a manageable price, good for budget players, people looking to play combo like Rocket, Dragon Link, and anything that just synchros, Adamanticators, stuff that can just turbo this guy out. It's really cool to see that price go down because he's really not all that bad of a card. Mystic Mind, still despise this card, but sitting at $9. I don't think it's really going to move much from there. Apollosa, I can't remember. I think she was only like $7 for a little while. So that's kind of cool to see her going back up a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't look all that bad. We're $9 or $10 for a little bit here. You got multiple sellers with like multiple copies. Hey, you kind of just stagnate at the $10 mark there for a little bit. So nothing too spectacular. If you want Apollosa, I personally recommend the alternate art out of Maximum Gold. But that's just me. I like the gold. I like the alternate art. And I like the price. So World Legacy Guard Dragons, nothing too crazy there. I mean, all this is kind of overall. Phantasmes, these did start to go up a little bit a while ago. Let's see here. So you can't really see far back enough in history. These actually were selling at $5, and they did go down $1 now. The hype has kind of died down a little bit. I actually bought Ultra Rares from Dual Overload. I bought them for like $4 or something like that, and I was able to resell them at about $7.50, and then like a few weeks later after they sold, the hype had died down, and they were down to like $6 again or something like that. They'd kind of cooled off a little bit. So hype for Phantasmes kind of started to cool off a little bit. They're not as big as it was. Overall, the 2020 Megatins weren't all that great. They did have some good reprints, and of course the big Dragoons with 93 listings now. I didn't even notice that the first time around, but overall, I mean, 2020 the tins did okay for what they were. It sucked not having the promos, but overall they weren't too bad. Now the garbage monster set of the year that nobody really wants to talk about, the bastard child that everyone just kind of ignored. Legendary Duelist Rage of Ra. Honestly, there's nothing really to talk about here other than the Starlight Rare, or the Ghost Rare, sorry. Kind of hanging out in a really weird balance right now. I've seen it go up, I've seen it go down. You're kind of looking at like $300 average right now, up to $340, $350-ish. It's in an interesting place right now with Ghost Rares getting a lot more hype thanks to Ghosts from the Past. It's just kind of being awkward. I'm not really sure what to think about Winged Dragon Raw Ghost Rare, so it's there. All the other cards in the set are just garbage. Like, look, these prices are astronomically terrible. Like, these are pennies on most of these cards, and like, look, you get Ultra Rares here, $1.13, Ultra Rares $1, you get Ultra Rares 70 cents. All these are just are garbage. Like, even the Monster Reborn Common is worth more than an Ultra Rare. Like, a few Ultra Rares, oh my god. So, this set was trash. That's all you need to know. Phantom Rage, honestly, this one kind of caught me off guard. So I actually think this set was really interesting because it had an odd balance of like really good chase cards, a couple of really good archetypes, a couple of really good support cards, and then a bunch of mediocre cards. It was so right in the middle of the balance, and it was so awkward, but I love it at the same time. So obviously you got Zeus going terminal up to almost $500 in the Starlights, and actually I think it got over for a second. A couple more listings on the market now, so it's not as bad, but still pretty bad. Ferzits, are 275. I think I managed to sell a couple about 243 after I bought them at like 120 or something like that. I bought them pretty cheap. These did go a little astronomical for a second. I almost thought they were going to hit tour guide levels, and I'm like, there's no way. It's just not the right card. And then it settled back down. So we're all good there. This is probably a fair enough price for this card. I don't expect it really to stay over 300 anytime soon. So for right now, that's just kind of what you're paying for it. You don't expect to make any money on it. Hitas, this one, yeah, that's probably going to stick right there for a little bit. The Charmers are interesting, but at this point, they're really only collector's cards. They can see a little bit of play here or there, maybe in combination with stuff like Triple Tactics Talents, and just any decks that are playing like these specific attributes that the Charmers match. But overall, they're not really all that spectacular, and nothing like too enticing, I don't think, in terms of the market. They'll sell eventually, but as you can see here, I mean, still 22 listings of the Starlight, and yeah, I don't know. I don't see it being as insane. So Alpha here, I'm actually noticing, I bought into this a while back. I bought 3 copies. I only have 1 left because somebody went ahead and bought 2 of my copies for like $100 more than the lowest listing. I was really impressed by that. I was very happy, and I'm thankful to whoever did it. But I mean, you look at this here, you're getting about 260, 270, almost all the way up to 300. Like I said, I do still have 1 copy left here, but it is sitting at like 370. So it's going to be a little while before mine gets there, as you can see, but it doesn't take a whole lot long. Okay, never mind. You got 11 copies here at 300 from Course TCG. That's a little bit of a wall. It doesn't sound like it, but for the fact that this card is so high priced, that is a pretty substantial wall. And it's going to be a good long while before you see this card really go up. Unless it happens to see a format in which this thing is super useful. Honestly, I thought more people were going to catch onto the hype with it with Dragoon. Considering that you can easily just special summon this guy with his effect, which is not an activated effect or anything that Dragoon can respond to. It's more of an inherent summon, I think. So he can bypass Dragoon's effect and then just beat over the Dragoon if he wants to. Or you could try to bait out the negate with the Dragoon by using his effect to bounce if you really want to. But it's smarter to just crash into it and get rid of it. It's basically almost treating it like an evenly match without having to use an effect. So you can get past that Dragoon and be able to get on with the rest of your turn, taking out 1 negate from your opponent, and, you know, dwindling. I think he's really good. He's kind of on par for me with Pankratops. I personally think a little bit better than Pankratops, other than the fact that he cannot take care of spells or traps. That part I do understand about Pankratops, but the fact that he's non-targeting, non-destruction removal, I think is super handy, and to have a Starlight rare version of him is just insane. I had to pick up my copies. There was no way I was going without picking them up, so I honestly love Alpha. I really think he needs some more attention. The rest of this stuff is actually Double A Zeus, just as normal $72 on just the normal guy. It pays for a box of Phantom Rage if you end up pulling him. So, I mean, the odds are kind of stacked against you, but if it happens, it happens. So, Fractal's going bombastic at $31. Nothing to. I mean, they were 15 for a while. Tri Brigade got some love, and now they're just gone. And the same with the Shamanist Omen. These were 14s. Alpha's actually sitting at 25. Actually, I think I bought mine at like 35, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, overall, the rest of Phantom Rage not doing all that insane. You know, quite a bit of listings on most of these, fairly cheap prices. If you want anything out of this set, I mean, yeah, these are not bad prices, especially mutant stuff. Poor mutants. Oh, those poor guys. I wanted them to be so good. And finally, I'm pretty sure this is the last set of the year. We have Genesis Impact, the other Forgotten Child. Like, honestly, I know it was recent enough, but everything in here is not all that great. Your collector's rares, your highest one is $85 for Medionis Drytron, the ritual spell. All the others are like $70, $75. You're not looking at a whole lot of value in this set. Like, if you manage to pull a collector's rare, you'll pay back your box and $30, sure. But, except for some of these low-end collectors, like this one, you're only looking $40 for Kissy Kill and Lilla collector rare. That is so sad. And then Beat Cop from the Underworld at $30. So some collector's rares won't even buy you back the box. You have to rely on pulling the ultra rares like Drytron Nova and anything else of value. This set is just so much garbage, especially when none of the ratios are guaranteed. This is the definition of gambling away your money. Like, when you're not getting guaranteed amounts of rarities or anything like that, it's all purely just RNG. Good luck, but I'm not going to hold out much hope for you because once again, the odds are pretty well stacked against you. So that's all I got for today's Market Watch, guys. I did forget to mention at the beginning of the video that if you guys want to support me, you can go to my TCG Player store and buy singlets from me. I'm listing more cards hopefully every day. I'm trying to kind of keep up with adding more and more cards every day, and I'm doing the best I can to help you guys out with customer service. I try to provide as much help as I can for everyone, and if any problems come up, I'm definitely willing to work with these. So if you guys want to, go check out that TCG Player store down below and buy some cards to me. And I am going to work on getting an affiliate link. I actually just need to go through the process of it. I know it's not all that difficult, so I'll get an affiliate link, and I'll be able to put it down in the description for you guys as well. And of course, if you want to, don't forget to put down in the comments what you'd like to see in the next Market Watches, and to like the video if you enjoyed it as well. That is all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't forget to check out the update to catch up what's going on at the channel. Peace out.